right, hello, Taylin Simmonds here, lead instructor for electronic music at the Center for Arts and Technology, and welcome back to another series where we're going to dive into remixing, songwriting, and music production. And today we have a very special one. Welcome, Jared Waldroff. Jared, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Taylin.
Yeah, we're going to be going over Jared's process for remixing, finding remix contests, how he writes his music, mixing, mastering, a little bit of everything. And we're going to start with what is your remix philosophy? What leads you to finding a remix contest and deciding which ones to do?
Well, that's as easy as just Googling remix contests. So there's actual websites dedicated to having every single remix contest that's live out there right now on places like Spinnin' Records. They always have them. Skio Music was a really good one. Label Radar is a good one. I find Skio has been the best. I've done a lot of them, and Skio has a lot of variety in terms of music, and they also have original submissions, and they give you critical feedback on all of your music as well. And so I usually start there and find a song that I enjoy, that I might be able to pull some ideas from, kind of really listen to it, pull some different elements, and see if I can be like, okay, so I can take this kind of effect element or this melody or maybe this vocal chop, and maybe I can do something with it here. And then once I have an idea and my style fits within the same style as the remix contest, then I download the stems and then just start messing around, looking at different all the stems, because usually there'll be things in there that you won't normally hear in the song. So you can start picking different stuff out, messing with stuff, and just start trying to spark some ideas.
Okay, awesome. So would you say when you're choosing a remix, how important is it to choose something that is already within the genre that you make? Like if someone is a trance producer or a hip hop producer, should they remix a dubstep song?
I think so. In order to get yourself out of your own comfort zone, there is a certain level of, if you are wanting to win the contest, you do have to play to the people who either have the original or who are judging as well. So you have to play to them a little bit. But it's always good to step out of your comfort zone, learn new things. Because just even for myself personally, when I have stepped out of my comfort zone and tried something different, tried something from maybe a different reference track, a new remix, trying this and that, it opens up a lot of new ways to produce, new ideas you can have maybe on future tracks, and it keeps things really fresh too. So I always recommend, even if it is a little bit outside your genre, still go for it, maybe make it your own genre, do something else with it. Because it'll always help you to be even a little more current in the scene. Maybe have you're creating your own noise.
Right. Very good. Okay, that's awesome. Without further ado, we've got our remix that we're going to go through today. So why don't we dive in piece by piece and let's dissect how you made it.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Let's do it. All right. So Jerry, we got this project open here. This one is a remix for a Kashmir track, right?
Yep. Yeah, I found this one on Spinnin' Records.
Okay. So can we take a listen to the original, and can you walk us through what parts of the original track inspired you, and what did you really like? And for those people at home too, this project it's a big project, as we can see, 60 plus tracks, a little bit of CPU issues. So Jared has definitely gone through and just altered the session a little bit just so that we can actually have playback, but we'll still be going through the session.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of easy ways to kind of get around the CPU. But this is what the original track sounds like. So you can already hear the difference from what I was doing, but this is the original. Kind of like a upbeat, sort of fun vocal.
So when you were listening to this, what parts of it triggered your creative inspirations?
So the main thing is the vocal chops, and as it gets into the main chorus here, this is right before the chorus.
Okay.
But I really liked the main vocal in the beginning and the elements are there, and it just seemed to be vocal chop with a build coming to the chorus here.
Okay, I see. It's got some good energy.
So
to
then,
it.
yeah, so I really liked the energy in it. I liked how kind of like jumpy and flowy it was. I was like kind of bobbing my head already, and I was like, all right, that sounds good. I like that. But in the beginning, the vocal, the main vocal sounded fairly pitched up, and it's just from years working with vocals and stuff like that. So what I ended up doing was I pitched it down, and then let's see here. So I'll play this. So I pitched it down, and then I thought of the idea behind the song where he's talking about hearing voices in the head and in your head, and I was like, okay, well, I think like the idea of hearing voices in your head isn't necessarily very happy, and his track was happy. So I'm like, all right, let's like make it a little darker. Let's like glitch it out, and like what's like hearing voices. It's probably like creepy and whatever. So so I did a bunch of like resampling.
Yeah, you really like glitch vocaled it pretty hard in the beginning. Very cool. Yeah, even just pitching the vocals down seemed to have quite a different effect from the original track.
Yeah, so then that was just the intro, and then I also thought, okay, what else is kind of a little like dark, and so I added this into here as well, which is this bass. So you can hear that bass in the background too. It's just kind of adding that kind of creepy little vibe to it.
So that's a really nice soundscape in the beginning, showing right from the bat that it's a remix and you've completely twisted the vibe in like a different direction.
Yeah. And then so his track was like very melodic as well, so I added this little this kind of like creepy little
Like a Stranger Thing kind of vibe.
Yeah. And then you'll hear wow wow. That's also taken from, so that noise is mixed with, let's see down here, with the original stems, this vocal right here. So I'll just turn this on, sorry. So that very first note of that, I took and I put it into Serum. And Serum's really good with changing samples that you have and using them in different kind of ways and adding effects and stuff.
Right.
And then so I put it in here. So it's that little, because I wanted to match that sort of voices kind of in your head, kind of very atmospheric, big vibe. So that's just the start of it. And then I add the drums in just for percussive elements. We also have...
So with this song, did you start with the intro?
Yeah, it started with exactly kind of how I'm explaining it. It was just like vocals, like, well, let's see what happens when I pitch them down. And then it came out cool, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I always loved the big kind of creepy re-space, so I threw that in there. And then I was trying to make a melody, but I was just like, the vocal is just what I want to be really present. So I just kind of made those little noises in the background, the arp, the dee-lee-lee-lee. Keep that in the background, kind of keep it sounding like big and kind of just like creepy and eerie.
Right. And
the drums came in just to give it, to evolve the track and give it more percussive elements. And then we're over here into the effects, and then our vocal. So I just took the vocal and I repeated it and then added some effects to it along with the melody here.
Yeah.
And then I'm just creating a build with the riser and the increasing like tension and tempo.
Right. Yeah, very different direction from the original, but so awesome. More like dance floor infused version on like the darker club side.
Yeah. So I wanted to keep that sort of like bouncy energy, but also keeping it with the vibe of the voices kind of being a little creepy and eerie. I wanted to go with just like kind of bass heavy, gritty music with like a bunch of distortion, and I'm going to tune it up a little bit, but and then so I just like played with a lot of different bass noises here, there, everywhere, and was just that main bass noise.
Okay. Did you end up using any other parts of the like bass line? Go back to that in a sec. Did you use any other parts of the stems, or did you really just take the vocal and then just free flow the rest of the track?
Mainly the vocal, because I couldn't figure out a way to integrate the like happy melody and all of like the big happy synths in with the vibe I wanted to change it to, down pitching it. So I used a lot of my own elements and a lot of just resampling the audio, changing it, just going and going and going. Like whenever I start, it's just go, go, go. Like try this, try this, try this. It's always like try to get all the ideas down, and when something clicks, then just like keep going off it, keep going off it. Don't really worry about too much. Just try to make some main elements. Try to make something sound really cool and innovative and new.
It's a really good final point is when the ideas are coming, just free flow, just as many ideas as possible. Don't get too lost in it. And whenever something works, double down and head in that direction.
Yep, exactly.
Love it. Well, let's stop there on this one. And then in the next one, let's look at how you made this drop.
Cool.